dot, I don't know, dot Barcelona is one.
TV.
Yeah, and all kinds of, and I'm looking at the prices. I mean, I did a search. You know, you go into the uh, name cheap or something like that. You do a search for a domain. You type in the domain you want and do a search, and it'll tell you if the .com, what versions are available, if any. Well, it happened that each of the domains I put in, the .com version wasn't available. But they give me a list of all these others, and you know, it's well, hey, they might .site was one that might be a one that's viable, but then I'm looking at the prices. I mean, there was one price, one domain name, I forget what it was because it scared me, $69,000.
Premium.
Yeah, I guess that's a premium.
U.S. dollars or yen?
Yes, no, $69,000, and then there's a couple of others in the teens, you know, $12,000, $15,000, and quite a few in the hundreds of dollars. These are all of these, almost all of them are with these new, recently released uh, domain names. So I don't know. And you know, the thing that gets me too is that's new at that price too. You know, I mean, you don't just buy it once and just get it back at the 1099 after you've bought the first one. No, no, no. You have $69,000 a year just to have that domain name.
Right, like Rick Cobble, so someone already owns that one and wants to resell it. That's what that's all about.
Typically, I think though. Of course, I don't know, but I think sometimes the registrars they snap up some domain names for themselves, and they jack up the price.
It's very possible.
And
Very possible.
I tell you what, I did this one time. I went to one domain registrar and I did a search for a domain, and then I went to GoDaddy and I did a search for the same domain, and then I went back to the registrar I initially went to and searched for that name again. Hey, guess what? That domain name was on back order. Right? So GoDaddy saw that somebody wanted a domain. This is what I'm thinking. I'm pretty
Yep.
sure this is what happened. They saw that somebody was interested in this domain, but they didn't take it. So they themselves put it on back order status so they could charge a premium for it. I wouldn't be at all surprised if that's the kind of things that happen.
I bought a domain name yesterday.
Did you?
I
What
did.
did you buy?
And I think it was like $1.99. It's one of
Yeah.
the. It's a .info, and I don't know
Okay.
if the .infos are considered.
First year.
What's that for the first year? Yeah, but for
The
.infos are
first year.
yeah
They'll raise it next year.
yeah probably, but it's pretty darn cheap for $1.99 if you want to try to get a point across.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what domain name I bought yesterday? If anybody's been following me on Twitter or Facebook over the last 24 hours?
Better buymystuff.com.
Nope. I ran into a problem yesterday, or over the last couple of
Uh-oh.
days. So I decided to buy a name that would have something to do with the problem I ran into. And sometimes, as some of you know, I like to get on something about Lyft, says Sandy. Yes. Sometimes I like to get on my high horse and or on top of the mountain and bellow out my anger and my disgust and my utter frustration. So I promised on Facebook that I would share what happened, and I'm actually recording it, so I might as well do this now and get it over with so we can move on to bigger and better things. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story. As many of you here know,
Wait a minute now. Does this story begin with Once Upon a Time, or might this?
I will absolutely start it that way. Once upon a time, when I was still 51 years old, which I still am, by the way, I started driving for a company called Lyft. In fact, I started driving for Lyft before I started driving for Uber. And I was enjoying my time driving for Lyft. It was a nice little company, and it was a competition to Uber. And I did maybe 10 hours a week over the summer in the month of July, and then I decided to see if I could sign up and successfully sign up for Uber, which I did do. And I did both for a little while. I did a few hours for Uber, I did a few hours for Lyft. And over time, I discovered that although Lyft was a nice company and they seemed like they sent out nice emails to the drivers, I was not making as much money as I was with Uber. So, 9 times out of 10, it's all about what, JQ?
Uh,
The,
Personality.
the money, maybe? The money? It's all about the
Yeah.
money. Right, Gabby?
Customer service.
Yeah, well, customer service is
Customer
important. Yeah, customer
Excuse me.
service is important. That too. So, in any case, I started to, whenever I did my driving, it kind of leaned exclusively towards Uber because I was making probably 20% more per time I went out there to do a drive. And the reason being was not because each ride was more money, it was because I was getting more rides to pick up people on Uber, so it was busier. A couple weeks ago, I received, flash forward, a couple weeks ago after not driving for Lyft for about 3 months, maybe 4, I got an email from Lyft. It wasn't actually from Lyft, it was actually from an outside company who asked questions on behalf of Lyft. And they asked, it was probably a 20-minute survey that I took, which is kind of long. And they actually promised that I would get a $5 Amazon gift card, which I did receive. And shortly thereafter, after I filled out the questionnaire, I got an email from Lyft. And it basically said, "Dear Keith, we'd love you to come back this week and drive for Lyft. And if you do come back this week and drive for Lyft, and if you do 20 trips over the next 3 days, we will give you a $200 bonus." Now, Gabby, you know about Uber and you know about money. I can't see you, Gabby. Are you hidden on purpose? I can see your hand.
I'm
And you're,
leaning back and listening.
oh, okay. There you
Okay,
go.
I'll move up a bit.
There you go. Much better. So, as you know, Gabby, $200 bonus is pretty good, right? He fell asleep.
Yeah.
So,
I would say so.
yeah. So not only did I do 20 trips and basically make, uh, I can't remember exactly what I made on that. Maybe I made $200 on that. So I made $200 on the 20 trips that I did. Plus, I made a $200 bonus, so there's $400. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty darn good. And Lyft does write some nice emails, and they do encourage you in a nice way, a better way than Uber does, to go out there and get things done. They have a good motivation. So they have a special. And I have a friend, Jim, who I recommended that he drive Uber, and he started driving Uber a month ago. And after he started driving Uber, I got a $400 referral bonus, which is great. So Uber is offering a $400. It's fixed hour hair time. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Uber is
I got some hair
offering.
sticking up there.
Lyft was offering 3 different bonuses. So it depended on which item you clicked. One bonus was that if you have a friend that wants to drive for Lyft, we'll give you $400 as a referral, and we'll give the driver $400. And then in another area, it says if you have a friend that wants to drive in Boston for Lyft, we'll give you $400, but the driver gets $200. And then yet in another area, it says if you want to drive for Lyft, the referral fee to the driver, the existing driver, will be $200, and for the new driver will be $200. So I wasn't sure which one was the best, which one was the right one. Of course, I want to get $400, and I want to make sure that my buddy gets $400. So that's the link I sent him, and he looked at the link and he clicked the link and he went off and he started registering. And then after he registered, he did call me and said, "Hey, you know what? The paperwork didn't say that I was going to get 400. It says I'm going to get 200." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm not sure which one you're going to get, but all total, we're going to get 600 and we'll split it." And he's like, "Fine." So I'm waiting on my end for a notification saying, "Hey, your friend Jim signed up." And I didn't get anything. This was on February 29th. So on February 29th, I sent out an email saying, "Hey, I sent my buddy the link. he signed up under me. I don't see anything. I don't see anything that he signed up under me. Please look into this. I didn't hear from anybody. So 12 hours later, I sent another email out. Hey, please look into this. I want to make sure that I'm associated with my buddy. I sent him this link. He's 100% my buddy, and he wouldn't be signing up under anybody else because he knows nobody else that drives for Lyft. Nothing. So I waited another 12 hours, and I sent out basically the same thing. And this time, in certain areas, I did what us Irish people who get their anger up a little bit. I put in a couple capital letters, amongst the email to really say, listen, you're starting to tick me off. You haven't responded to me. I sent out 5 tickets to this company that is a multi-million-dollar company. We're not talking a small company like KJ Enterprise. We're talking about a real big, well-known international company. Nothing. I get nothing, JQ, Gabby, nothing. So I finally put out another message with all capital letters, help, 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 help. And finally I get a response, and then they said, give me some more details about your friend Jim. I gave them more details, and I got a letter. I got a basic, kind of like a canned email saying, sorry, Keith, your friend did not sign up under you. He signed up under somebody else. No, he did not. That did not happen. And I know it didn't happen. Let's see, Rick says, I think they would want to wait 30 days to make sure he actually drives. Well, that's true, Rick, but typically what we get is an email saying, hey, somebody signed up. Let them know that you're there to help. So, Lyft on Facebook, yeah. So I just basically went ballistic. They basically said, you're not going to get anything. But if he drives, he'll get $200. And I'm like, no. You guys are scamming me. And I just went off. I showed them copies of my emails that I sent to my buddy, text messages that I sent to my buddy, all with my links. And he wrote back that he clicked on my link and signed up, and he did nothing else. And then he asked me, he said, what else could I have done to do something wrong? I said, you could have clicked on an ad in email that said Lyft, and you signed up under that. He said, I never clicked anything but your link. So either their script is broken or my friend is lying, and I'm 99.99999% confident that my buddy's not lying or accidentally lying, that for some reason the link didn't go through and it picked up somebody else's name. No, that's a good question. Rick says, did they say who he signed up under? No, they wouldn't say because I asked who did he sign up under. But I did a test this morning, and I signed my wife up under me. And in the test, she did actually come through under me, and we didn't finish the application. And this morning I received an email through my wife's account that I set up through lamail.me that said, hey, Ann, you haven't completed. Hey, Ann, as you know, Keith referred you to our company, and all you need to do is fill out a couple more things. So the first name is. I'm confident that my friend received an email saying that, hey, so and so did refer you. Please, know that you're going to receive $200 or whatever. So I just before the show started, I did send out an email to my buddy, a text message to my buddy to ask him what that email said if he got that email, which I'm sure he got. So hopefully we'll find at least the first name, and I can contact them and say he doesn't even know Raphael or whatever the person's name is. So I'm really ticked off today because of that. Hashtag. So I created a new name, Lyft, Lyft Boston.info. And if you go to lyftboston.info, you'll see two videos that I created yesterday. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I probably have written about 30 tweets about called hashtag Lyft Boston Referral Scam. I
You're gonna
have.
like that.
So if you're not following me on Twitter, find me on Twitter. It's just my full name, no spaces or anything, Keith Carberry. So twitter.com/, Keith Carberry, and follow me on
Hey,
Twitter.
turn that switch on. Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. So
Probably going to sue you for using the name LYFT.
well, you know what? I'm actually looking forward to that, Gabby. I was thinking of that they might send me a cease and desist. And while between now and the time they send me a cease and desist, I'm just going to work it. You know. So one of the things I did, I just created an HTML page there. I will be over the next couple days, probably over the weekend. I will put up because this is for this type of a thing. I think it's much better to put up a WordPress so I can make it more interactive and just continue every day to create a couple lines here and there about Lyft and how they scammed me, and to watch out, you're probably going to get scammed yourself. And you know what? I don't know if they're intentionally doing it. I think that's
You
probably
do know that sometimes they don't send out a cease.
yeah. Well, what are they going? What are they going to get from me? I don't have enough money for them to get anything from me.
Yeah, well, they
Your
might put a
house.
lien on your first
Your
wife.
house.
Well, if they put a lien on my first wife, I hope she falls over.
Your
Yeah.
rabbits.
What's that, Gabby? Yeah. So
What are they going to get? Your house, your rabbits,
yeah,
your dog,
go for it. It's
everything
all.
but your bills.
It's all up for. It's all up. You can have it. you know, as I've always said in the past, way before Donald Trump ran for office, if I did what 90% of the, if you do what 95% of the people typically do, you're not going to be successful. And the reason why Donald Trump has been successful, he does what only 5% of the people do. He does the opposite of what most people do. And he's been doing that all his life, and he's doing it right now in his his new political life. He's doing the absolute opposite of what everybody else would do. And people are wondering why he's successful. It's because he's doing the opposite. So don't follow the crowd. And that's exactly what I'm. If I was going to follow the crowd, I wouldn't do liftboston.info because I would know that I'd be, there might be a problem where I might get sued or a cease and desist. But live on the edge, Gabby. That's what I always say. Right, JQ?
Yeah, right on the perimeter.
Yeah. So,
That's where the action is.
yeah, I'd love to have you guys follow me on Twitter because you might get a kick out of some of the things I might say about Lyft and so it's not just about Lyft with this problem of not paying out the potentially paying out the referral fee. The second biggest problem that I ran into is the amount of time I had to wait to get any type of response from the company. 3 days, in my opinion, is far too long for a company this big not to get in touch with you. Not to at least say, "Hey, we're backlogged," or whatever. It was just kind of surprising that it took that long. You're on mute, Gabby.
Uber, you can call. You can when you got a problem, you can call them like that. I've called them a couple of times.
All right, I'm going to stop recording because I think there's a lag now. I was recording about this, so I'm going to stop the recording. 1 minute, guys.